Chapter 11. The clerk sat facing Anders behind a large glass window and wooden desk. He was a short, slim, feeble-looking man with limp hands. His skin was an unhealthy grey colour. His moustache was wiry and long and dangled over his front teeth. He sat rubbing his bald head with napkins, but perspiration and shine reappeared again, almost instantly. On his desk were papers and a plate of toast, a pot of Vegemite and a pot of tea. Anders looked at the toast, feeling hungry. He saw the clerk reading his papers, eating his toast, biting it and moving his lips slowly underneath his moustache. The clerk then said, looking over the papers. "You bring me some characters, Big D." "I do," Big D said, smiling, standing very closely behind Anders. "I keep you in a job, Shiny." From his desk, Shiny smiled back at him. "Indeed," he said, clicking his pen vigorously with his thumb. "Is this the one that caused the disturbance this morning with the toilets?" "Yep," Big D said, "but he's been educated now. We advised he had fibre to his diet, some grapes perhaps." Shiny said. "I had to do my morning special across the road. Not happy. Had to use the market toilets." He looked at Anders. "Did you take note about the grapes?" Anders didn't answer. He kept looking down, moving his flip-flops on the carpet. Shiny drank tea, his moustache dipped in the hot water, leaving toast crumbs on its surface. "What is your name?" Anders pointed to the papers on Shiny's desk. "My name is there," he said, "on your report." "Just answer his questions, slugger," Big D said, stooping towards Anders' ear, "unless you want to be here all day." "Anders. My name is Anders." "Full name, please." Shiny clicked his pen, rocking in his chair with the air of supreme authority, like a high court judge or school headmaster. Guessing he was like this with everyone, Anders took no offence. "Anderson," he said, facing the papers, as though reading from the report. "Anders Anderson." "Anderson, eh? We have a Scotsman, do we?" Shiny raised an eyebrow to Big D, as though cueing him in. "Well," Big D said, "if he is, he's wearing the worst kilt I've ever seen." Shiny's knees were going, his eyes bulging. Anders kept his head down, listening to the high-pitched laughter, waiting patiently for the moment to pass. "Good one, D," Shiny said. "That's a good one." Suddenly his face turned serious. "Well then, Mr. Anderson," he said, pouring some more tea. "I presume you know why we detained you this morning." Anders waited for Shiny to continue. "Indecent exposure is not acceptable. Not acceptable at all." He pointed to Anders' lower's half with his pen, moving it in circles. "Apparently the sexy blonde lady isn't pressing charges." He glanced over the report, eyeing a certain paragraph, then he closed it. He pushed away the pages and stared at Anders. "I would keep you for longer," he said. "It chills my bones to think you'll be out there soon." He paused, reaching into his pockets for more napkins, dabbing them over his bald head. "What if we made the law, hey D?" "That's a thought," Big D said, stepping back, looking down on Anders, bare legs squeezing his bottom lip between his teeth, holding it there tightly. "I'd like that." He came close again. Anders felt something prodding his thigh. Sometimes it stayed there, then it was prodding again. He tensed up. He swallowed slowly. "I really would," Big D said. "I'd like that." "I'd like that too," Shiny agreed. "Look at him. He's probably thinking about sex right now. Perverts like him never stop. They're insatiable. Personally, I blame a lack of hobbies." He folded his arms. "That's the problem with the younger ones, isn't it?" Perspiration appeared on his forehead. He stood up, walking behind the glass. "You're bored all the time, and it's always somebody's fault. Never your own. Oh no. You refuse to work hard for anything. You want everything instantly. Instant kicks is what you're about. Instant kicks." Anders looked at the crumpled napkins on his desk. The prodding continued. "In my day, we'd take a girl out," Shiny said. "I'd be waiting patiently for weeks," he said. "Months sometimes, months before I got any slap and tickle." He came close to the glass. "But I guess you're too important to wait. You can't wait for anything, can you? Can you, boy?" He went on that way for some time, like a headmaster scolding his pupil, pausing only to dab sweat, click pen, sip tea. There was no accent to his tone, no life. It was just plain, dull, boring. Anders thought it was wise to say nothing, to face away, to ignore the prodding feeling back of his thigh. Say nothing, he thought, But who knew what had happened during his acid trip? Certainly not him. He may have flashed more people for all he remembered. There are at least 4 hours missing from his memory. Nothing but complete blankness, and pondering that and taking into account the drugs and nakedness, a $50 penalty and a scolding from Mr. Slap and Tickle seemed a fine outcome.